do?
Oh, hang on.
Oh, now we have an echo.
Yep, I didn't have the audio in our video. By the way, if you're watching on our live stream, welcome. Thanks for starting your day with us on there. If you have not had a chance to watch our live stream, you can do so by checking it out at our WSJM Facebook page, YouTube, and X. We're all right there to see and hear now that I hit the button over there. So come hang out with us. But right now, we need to get to what's happening in the news.
AM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Good morning. Here are some of the stories that we're following for you today. Hager Township trustees are seeking answers regarding a bill the township has received for a drain project. At their meeting this week, the township board approved a Freedom of Information Act request sent to the Berrien County Drain Commissioner's office to learn why the township has been billed about $48,000 for work at 8 drains. Township Supervisor Izzy DiMaggio tells us he's asked for an explanation on the bill, and he's asked multiple times, but has not yet received an explanation.
When we get a bill, we would like an explanation. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. We're not getting it, so we have to file a Freedom of Information request, a FOIA request, which is unheard of for one local municipality to file with a public official from the county government.
DiMaggio says among the things they want to know is exactly what work was performed and where.
That's what we don't know. It says there was some drain work in a particular area, but doesn't document what it was, who did the work, doesn't document the engineers, the attorneys, and so forth.
DiMaggio says the Berrien County Drain Commissioner's office has been unresponsive as Hager Township seeks more information. He says with what little information he currently has, the charges appear to be mostly for engineering, consultation, and equipment with little actual groundwork. Lincoln Township voters will be asked this year to renew the police operating millage. Speaking to township trustees on Tuesday, Clerk Stacy Lohr-Porter said the millage funds all police operations and has been in place for about 8 years.
Without this millage, we would pretty much have to lay off half the police department. This millage pays for labor, equipment, and just the general operation of the police department. The police department is fully funded through its own millages. It does not require any transfers from the general fund.
Lohr-Porter says the millage needs to be renewed every 8 years. It will be on the ballot in August. The Berrien County Parks Department is giving the public a chance to see what the new Silver Beach playground will look like. Parks Director Jill Adams tells us renderings and concepts for the project will be on display at the St. Joseph Today Welcome Center starting today and continuing through next Monday.
What we are planning on showing over the next few days at the Welcome Center is all of those concepts, those ideas, the feedback we got from the public, all put into one design that we're going to be moving forward with.
Adams says the Parks Department last fall held an event to get public input on multiple concepts for the playground, attracting about 80 people. The concepts on display at the Welcome Center now are what the county is going to go with.
There's just hundreds of different things that kids will be able to do on these playgrounds. And we want to, if anyone's interested, they can come out and take a look and learn a little bit more about what to expect when we bring it to the public in summer of 2025.
Park staff will be at the Welcome Center today and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to answer questions any public visitors might have. Adams says comments will still be taken on the new $1.25 million playground. We have the email address at our website for questions. The county is 74% of the way toward reaching its fundraising goal for the project. They want you to know if you're interested in donating, you can visit their website online. And finally, the Nuclear Regulatory Commission has announced that April 17th will be the first public meeting to discuss the Palisades nuclear power plant restart. This is part of the agency's assessment process of the plant's readiness to potentially resume operations. Palisades entered permanent closure status in May of 2022, but in early 23, Holtec International offered to restart the plant. The NRC meeting is to discuss licensing reviews, inspection activities, and environmental review pertaining to the potential restart. The panel will discuss the NRC's review process and take questions from the public. That meeting again is April 17th at Lake Michigan College's Grand Upton Hall in Benton Harbor. If you can't attend in person, there will be an online option. Additional information on a potential Palisades restart can be found on the NRC's website. in the WSJM newsroom. I'm Ken Lundberg.
All right. Coming up here in just a little bit, we'll catch you up with sports. We'll also have Always Learning with our friends from Barry and Risa in just a little while. But right now, let's find out what's happening around the nation and the world with ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. It's
ABC News. All right.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to good mornings all around from Jeff and Bill.
Hello.
And then Bill and Jeff, they say their hellos and how you doings.
Hello, Jeff. Hello, Bill. Good morning. Happy Thursday.
All the other people that are watching here this morning.
All the people watching.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly. I thought you were just going to keep repeating.
I just keep repeating.
It's repeat day.
Just going to repeat that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Repeat that. Yeah.
Like an echo.
Today is some good holidays today. Today's, of course, the opening round of the Masters, a tradition like any other. Last year's champ John Rahm, he is trying to go for it again. Tiger Woods going to be there. Of course, all the other amazing professional golfers that can golf way better than I ever could. I just hope the weather holds out. I did see when I was looking at the Masters website, there was a weather alert. I did not read the weather alert, but hopefully they don't get postponed or anything like that. So today also National Barbershop Quartet Day, which if
National Barbershop Quartet
Barbershop
Day.
Quartet.
Huh.
I've been part of barbershop quartets. Sang a few songs with the barbershop quartet. It's a lot of fun.
For those who might not know, including myself, what defines a barbershop quartet? You've got four
guys.
Do you have to have some affiliation with a barbershop?
No, but I'm sure that's what it was in the beginnings. There was probably they would also do that while they're at the barbershop. You know, they're hanging out and they'd say, "Oh, let's grab some music. Let's sing some songs. Let's have a soda pop."
Just stop cutting hair all of a sudden and just break out into song.
Yeah, because that's what life is like. You know, just break out into life as a musical. I don't know. I'm
going to look it up.
The origin, I have a little quick blurb, but there may be more stuff. But the origin of barbershop, they say, is a little foggy. It's believed that the genre originated in the late 1800s, a mix of white and African-American musical styles.
Okay.
And they started at barbershops as a way to pass time waiting for a haircut.
Oh.
So we got four of us. We got four of us waiting in line. Fellas, let's grab some music and sing some songs.
Well, that's a swell idea.
Yeah. No, they're great. I mean,
having a haircut, 2 bits.
Exactly. I love barbershop music, like the barbershop quartets that I've sang in. It's just fun to see the harmonies come together and some good songs.
Do you have to wear fun outfits?
You are encouraged to.
Okay.
But some of like the professional barbershop quartets out there, they don't wear the big crazy outfits anymore. Like what do they call it? The pork pie hat? What's that? What's that?
Sounds about right.
That like auctioneer type hat, and then the shirt ruffle, the shirt things. That's like the classic style from, if you think of like the Music Man. Because the Music Man, I think when they did the movie,
right,
the old movie, that one had I can't remember what the group is called, but that was like the premier barbershop quartet in the world was those guys. And there's some really good ones. Like if you go to Disney World, I think they still have in Disneyland they have barbershop quartets.
Probably animatronics.
Yeah, probably.
And real people.
Yeah. But no, it's fun. So celebrate barbershop quartet day. Listen to some barbershop music when you get a chance.
Did you ever want to put one of your pieces of art in a museum, but didn't want to follow the traditional process?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Yeah. There's a worker at a museum in Germany. We've seen this a couple of times recently, but his job was to hang artwork.
Oh, yeah.
What did he end up doing? He hung his own artwork.
Like, I know I'm supposed to hang this one, but I think this one would be better. That's basically what he did.
Let's see. Mine Picasso. Picasso. One German man achieved his dream of having his artwork shown in a famous museum. He hung it up there himself. He's a 51-year-old man. He's an exhibition technician
Ooh.
and a self-proclaimed freelance artist. He smuggled one of his paintings into a museum in Munich and hung it on the wall in one of the galleries. He didn't tell anyone. He just did it. Security discovered the new edition, and the man was fired after the artwork was promptly taken down. He's also been banned from that museum.
Really?
Yeah, because he had employment at the museum, he had access to the premises outside of normal operating hours. No one noticed him put the picture up. It's unknown how long the painting was there. It's about 23 inches wide, 47 inches tall, is what they say here.
Okay.
Seems like it should be the other dimension. Anyway, supervisors noticed something was wrong. They questioned him and said, yeah, you're fired. You're banned from the museum. Take your artwork and go.
That's rude. Because I've seen, I can't remember if it was one of the main big art museums in New York or one of the other major cities, but they had actually a gallery show that was curated by the security guards.
Oh.
And I thought, that's great. These guys are at the art museum and are there for years. And they see art show after art show after art show. So they have the appreciation for art and the eye for it. So they said, hey, why don't you curate our next show? Well, but I think you look at, even like around here, Krazel, they have the members show.
Yes.
And it's not always working artists that are members.
That's right.
They may just be hobbyists that are something, or say, you know what, I'm going to try my hand at some painting and then put it on the show. So I think, give them that opportunity. So I'm sure that's not the last time you'll see that person's artwork. I'm sure now that this story is going all over the place.
Could be very good. Yeah, he could go viral. Yeah, absolutely. He does have some charges to answer to, though. The Munich Criminal Investigation Department is looking into it because he used 2 screws to screw his artwork to the wall.
Yeah.
Damaged the wall.
Of course.
Total damage estimated around €100, which is $107.
Oh, wow.
So
just for a couple screws?
This sounds like a conversation you might have with your landlord if you're trying to get your deposit back.
Yeah.
You screwed that to the wall? Well, just a couple of screws.
Or a carpenter or construction guy. It's like, oh, yeah, I changed your light switch. Yeah. Oh, I could have done that.
An incident similar to this occurred several weeks ago in Bonn, Germany, where a student hung one of her paintings on an exhibition wall with no one's permission using double-sided tape. So there she was small. That museum joked about it. They found it a little bit humorous. They wrote on X, "We think it's funny and would like to get to know the artist. Get in touch with us. No trouble. Word of honor."
Bill had a good question.
Yeah.
Was it a good painting? He said, I'd like to see this painting.
Beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
But we'll try to find a picture of it.
As we were talking about Barbershop Quartet Day, Jeff says, it's very difficult to find a really good beard barber. Yeah, that's true. Because I go to the barber to get my hair cut, and they always say, oh, do you want a beard trim? Like, no, I can do that myself. I mean, I can't do it like the really, really cool barbers that you see videos of that are able to do all kinds of crazy stuff and super lined up and
Jeff's setting us up here because I have access to his social media and I see he's done some crazy things with his beard. It's very well coiffed. And I think he has like almost a bicycle mustache.
Oh. Okay.
So
like the handlebar type or like
the handlebar deal.
If he goes to a fancy party, he could grab a little bit of wax and
it's pretty sharp, I gotta tell you.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see if I can find
but no, I agree. It is hard to find it's hard to find a good barber in general. I don't
think so. I have a great barber.
You have a great barber? Is that you?
You know this.
Is that you?
Yeah. I need a trim
with your what is the vacuum cleaner thing?
No, the Flowbee. I wish I had the Flowbee. I don't have the Flowbee.
I can't remember what it was. There's a celebrity out there that he's like, yeah, I got the Flowbee back when it was popular, and I've kept it for years, and I've been able to cut my hair that way.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I mean, and of course, I think they're a Hollywood actor or something like that. And they're like, well, when I have a movie role, then they do the hair cutting. Yeah. But if I'm just doing regular stuff that I'm not doing a movie or a show, then boom, just do the Floby.
Yeah.
He says Salvador Dali.
Oh,
like
there it
Salvador
is.
Dali.
Yeah,
I'm like,
the song. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, he was a well coiffed individual as well. All right. Always Learning with Barry and Risa is happening right now on our airways. But you're getting exclusive content here this morning as you start your day. Barry and Risa keeping themselves busy. They've got, well, you talked about it yesterday. They've got Science Olympiad this week.
Yep.
And with this conversation, we are talking about the Reading Heroes program partnership with Great Start Collaborative. So if you happen to pop over and listen to that conversation, you can do so. Or what you can always do is go to the podcast section at WSJM.com and the WSJM app and listen to that conversation there.
Follow-up story on Rashee Rice.
Oh, football. Yeah. Yeah. What's going on with him? He's got his Super Bowl ring, but he's also possibly going to get some other jewelry.
He might need that Super Bowl ring to post bond. The Dallas Police Department yesterday issuing an arrest warrant for Rashee Rice, the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver, related to what they say is a serious bodily injury crash that took place on March 30th on the Dallas highway. We talked about this earlier, that he was part of what appeared to be a race on the highway, high-speed race, several cars resulting in a several-car collision. Rice, who is 23 years old, faces 8 counts of aggravated assault, collision involving serious bodily injury, and 6 counts of collision involving injury stemming from the chain reaction collision that involved a Lamborghini that Rice was driving, a Corvette, and 4 other vehicles.
Wow.
The crash left 4 people with minor injuries. They now have an arrest warrant out there.
Okay.
He said earlier, we reported this, that he was going to cooperate with all, what did he say, relevant authorities?
Yeah.
Something he qualified it somehow.
Like you only speak to them, qualified authorities, and then also something else. So that was an interesting comment from him when he said that.
Yeah.
Speaking of learning, we'll have Superintendent Jenny Fee joining us a little after 7:30. She might be already in the parking lot, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But Bill says he would like the handlebar mustache, but it'd get too much dirt and grease at work.
Just use that grease to train your mustache.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are you thinking there?
Yeah. Diane says that could be messy.
Hello, Diane.
Yeah. Jeff says it's complicated. I have to put wax in my handlebar mustache to keep
Jenny.
it out of my mouth just to eat.
I'm going to go get her.
Okay.
I'll be back.
We will have the superintendent in here in just a moment. I'm gonna while he's doing that, I'm gonna do a quick check on our camera that I have set up just to make sure that's in the right spot. See if that's too close. Yeah, I don't know. Making some adjustments here. Okay, folks. Okay. All right, we're just getting things adjusted and ready for our special guest that we're going to have in here in just a moment.
Johnny Reinhardt.
Hi, Johnny Reinhardt.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
This is Jenny. Live stream.
Yep.
So the
Okay.
cameras you see here are now live and active,
Okay,
and the microphones and such. These microphones work just like this. So
got it.
get up close and
All
personal.
right.
So we'll talk a little bit off the air, and then we'll talk on the air. But everything's going out to the social medias.
Mhm.
So,
Yep,
Mhm.
got it.
so watch your P's and Q's.
I
All
will
right.
do
Yep.
that.
Yep.
No. Jenny Fee, Superintendent of St. Joseph Public Schools, here to talk about the bond proposal and anything else. We promised anything else you want to talk about.
Anything else? Whatever's on your
We're
list.
All
we're in the
right.
hallway talking about the eclipse.
Oh, yeah?
How did you end up watching the eclipse? What did you do?
I was over at a school in the background with some kids and saw
Nice.
it from there with that. Our school foundation
Yeah.
gave every staff and student member glasses.
Nice.
That
Oh,
was
cool.
really great. So it was, that was over 300 glasses that people
Wow.
could use, and the kids
Sure.
had really structured time. Our secondary kids were dismissed during that time. but
Nice.
Our
Okay.
elementary kids they were able to go out with their class and enjoy that moment. So
I mean, do you see it as a learning opportunity on a number of different levels for kids?
so many. I mean,
Yeah.
just the science aspect of it,
Right.
obviously, but then it was kind of a community event for them with their class and with their school. Everyone was so excited about it, the adults as well, of that opportunity. So just kind of having that shared experience was a real kind of culture relationship builder for the kids as well. And then just something that they can remember in the rest of their life. And
Mhm.
when the next one comes, they'll still be around and be able to reflect back on where they were on that day and that moment. So
Yeah.
it was pretty neat.
Last night, Stephanie's my partner, and I were having cake with a teacher friend of ours whose
Okay.
birthday it was yesterday.
Okay.
And it was a great ice cream cake, by the way.
I
It
love
was
ice
really
cream
good.
cake.
Afterwards, we were out and about, and it was about the time that the sun was going down. And so we usually like to go on some of the a Lions Park or go by Old Lakeshore Drive and that kind of thing and watch the sun go into the lake. But it doesn't really go into the lake, by the way.
Right.
And it seemed to me that there were more people than usual stopping and looking at the sun. And I wondered if that was like, everyone's got that new appreciation
Yeah.
given the eclipse
Mhm.
and all the attention we
All right,
gave to
hang on.
that.
Here we go.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
WSJM.
Hey, good morning. Getting close to 7:30, and it's going to be a rainy day today for pretty much the whole day. So we've got that going, and we've also got rain tonight with an 80% chance for that happening with a low down to 40. Friday, much the same, 50-50 chance for some rain as well. So we will get to news here in just a moment, but shall we say hello to our special guest that we have here?
Absolutely. We've got Jenny Fee in the studio. She is the superintendent of our St. Joseph Public School System. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Absolutely. You're here to talk about the bond, but let's talk about other stuff first. How's the coffee?
The coffee's excellent.
See?
Very good.
Very
Just what
nice.
I needed to start off the day.
Anytime. What's happening? What's going on?
Oh, we're busy over at St. Joseph Public Schools.
Yeah.
We just got done with the whole eclipse affair, which was
Yeah.
awesome for our kids and our teachers. There was a lot of excitement around that. And we're really focused in the next month on getting this bond proposal passed.
Yeah.
We're kind of at crunch time and
Sure.
really excited to get to May 7th and see what we can do.
Let's talk a little bit about the bond proposal since we've got a couple minutes here. Maybe just give us an overview of what is it that you're asking for and what's it going to and why is now the time?
Yeah. So we're asking for a fairly large price tag. It's a $98.5 million bond, which in Berrien County, that is a large price tag. But when you compare that to some of the bonds that are going off across the state, we're seeing bonds over 300 million plus at many public school districts. And but that is not a number that we just magically came up with. It's a number that we've spent over 2 years studying the district through a strategic plan and a facility assessment, a very in-depth facility assessment to really assess where the infrastructure and our needs are for the next 10 years. And so more than half the bond is just basic things that need to be replaced because of end of life items. We have cabinetry and classroom spaces at Upton Middle School that was built in 1969 that are from 1969, and there's some wear and tear there. We made some beautiful changes to our high school about almost 15 years ago through a bond. And those have been fantastic. And the high school is a beautiful facility. Yet during that bond, we didn't touch anything inside the walls or the ceilings. And so there's a lot of mechanical and electrical needs that are associated with that building. And it's almost 400,000 square feet. So when you think about all that space, that's a lot of money to be able to address those needs, and roofs as well. And something that's different about this bond than previous bonds in St. Joseph is that those bonds were pretty targeted. One went back in 2001. One was really focused on the field house at the high school. And then the one in 2010, as I said, was the high school and the Performing Arts Center. This bond is really touching every single space in our district. So we have 5 school buildings and then a transportation center that's quite old. And so the bond is touching all those different aspects.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was just to say, do we want to hold and talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, let's go to news.
Okay.
And then we can come back and talk some more.
I like that.
Let's do that.
That was exactly what I was going to say. I like it. Yeah.
We got to keep on time. Johnny gets nervous.
I am the timekeeper. So I'm excited to talk more and dive in more to some of that because it is a big issue and like you said, big price tag. So we want to inform the community about it as much as possible. But we also want to inform the community about what's happening in the news this morning.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Good morning. Here are some of the local stories we're covering for you. The Nuclear Regulatory Commission announcing that April 17th will be the first public meeting to discuss the Palisades nuclear power plant restart. This is part of the agency's assessment process of the plant's readiness to potentially resume operations. Palisades entered permanent closure status. You'll remember back in May of 2022. Early 2023, Holtec International offered to restart the plant. The NRC meeting is to discuss licensing reviews, inspection activities, and environmental review pertaining to the potential restart. The panel will discuss the NRC's review process and take questions from the public. Again, that meeting is set for April 17th at Lake Michigan College's Grand Upton Hall in Benton Harbor. If you can't attend in person, there will be an online option. A St. Joseph Township family is glad to be alive after a semi crashed into their home earlier this week. That's the sentiment after a story we first told you about Monday night when St. Joseph Township police responded to a welfare call in the area of Coronde Park. That's where they encountered the driver of a truck who drove off after police approached. We'll tell you more about that story coming up at 8 o'clock and what the family has to say after that incident. And $1.5 million in federal funds is going to Lincoln Township for a long-planned trail project. Speaking to trustees this week, Lincoln Township Supervisor Dick Stauffer said Congressman Tim Wahlberg has secured money for the South Roosevelt Shared Use Path. That is a 10-foot wide shared use path along South Roosevelt and Hidden Pines to Marquette Woods. It's been a plan so far, but now with this money, they think they can move ahead with some of the construction. We'll tell you more about the timeline for that as well at 8 o'clock. In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
Sports coming up here in just a moment. Right now, let's find out what's happening around the state.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Beth Fisher. Lansing's police chief says too often.
Okay, here we go. All right, back on our live stream.
No, we're all good.
Good. All right. You got a great website. I love this website
For the
about
bond. Yeah, yeah, they've done a good job. We work with Chrisman, our construction management company, has some services like that.
Ah,
support that. So
cool.
It's
Okay.
great.
Very nice.
Look at that. Click here to learn more.
Isn't that cool? And look at the video that they have.
Wow. No, I think that's a very important aspect with when you're trying to do something, bond proposal, especially large or small, is to inform the community and the voters on what you're trying to do and show them. Because if you just say, okay, well, we need to replace this, we need to replace this, we need to replace this, they'll just say, well, that's a pretty big price tag for my tax bill. And I don't know, do you really need it? But if you actually show them and see the results and see what the age of some of this stuff is, then they really see, okay, this is something that does need to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, when you said 1969 for most of a lot of the building and structure and all that stuff, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's been helpful when we get out and are able to share the specifics behind it. People are a lot more receptive and appreciate knowing and understanding those details versus just seeing, they want money.
Right.
That it's more strategic and thoughtful and intentional how we're going about this.
Now, you said the bond proposal, it's been the formulation of 2 or 3 years of study.
Yeah.
And you've been with the district for
3 years.
Coming up 3 years.
Yeah. So we really started it in the beginning of my second year.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been a 2-year process.
How has your time at St. Joseph Public Schools been?
It's been awesome. It's such a great community. I always say to people when they ask that question that there's just such deep roots there that people appreciate the educational experiences they had growing up there in the schools and the community itself. That, they might not want to stay when they're 18, and they want to go away for a little bit, but you find them coming back, and there's just generations of people that support the district, and there's so much engagement and investment. And I think that's one of the things that makes for a really high quality school district. So, and people have been so welcoming and just been really great place to be a superintendent.
And you've seen schools around in different places.
Correct.
And so you have something to compare it to. And how do we compare to, say, Denver or somewhere other?
Yeah. So that's a harder comparison just because I worked in an independent school out there and not a public school. So that it's a little bit different kind of set up and everything. But I've spent 20 years up in Grand Rapids area and see all those things. And St. Joseph is right there in terms of the quality of its educational experience.
Awesome.
Recently there was an article on out of the Detroit area that I think used studies from the niche.com, and we were ranked as, I think, the number 26th high school in the state of Michigan.
Wow.
Which is really great. We were up there ahead of East Grand Rapids and just with some of the top high schools in the state. So we love that we're able to have the support and the engagement to be able to offer all those programmings to our kids for that experience.
And you mentioned, I think it was I can't remember if it was in the hallway or here, but the St. Joseph Public School Foundation,
Correct.
The school foundation, made the donation so that kids could see the eclipse.
Absolutely.
They give glasses.
Yeah. So they purchased glasses for all 300 staff and students, or 300 staff, and then 1,000 or almost 3,000 students.
Wow.
So that was great. And that's just a testament to the school's foundation. I mean, it's an amazing organization that partners with us, and they raised over $1 million last year and gave and have given out hundreds and thousands of dollars of grants to our teachers just to enhance that educational experience. And it's one of the strongest schools foundations that I've seen in the state of Michigan. And so it's just a true testament to that partnership that I talked about.
Yeah.
I have a question from our live studio audience, but this is a good question because I think Jeff he's a financial guy.
He is.
So he has this good question. Is this a typical financial bond or more like a tax millage?
This is a tax millage.
Tax millage.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. I got nervous there. I don't have my CFO here. Deep dive, technical financial questions.
What's the percentage of Do you have an Excel spreadsheet I can look at and I can post online?
There we go.
Yeah. Wonderful. When we how much time till we get back on the terrestrial radio?
We will be on the radio here in about a minute or so.
Okay. One of the things I want to ask about coming back is you mentioned it has a big price tag.
It does.
And if you take a look at some of the other communities around Southwest Michigan, they've had a hard time with bonds. And so I'll ask about how you're countering that and what they're saying. And
okay, as we come up, or you want me to respond to that?
Not
right
yet.
Now? Okay.
Hold that.
Hold that
giving you time to formulate a response.
Good. That sounds good.
But if you're interested in learning more about the bond, you can go to sjpsfuture.org. And they've got a whole website devoted to it. If you can't remember that, just go to the St. Joseph Public Schools website, and on the front page there, you got a link.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
It's good.
Yeah, I got to check out this video later.
It's cool.
Yeah.
I want to be in the video.
Yeah, I saw some of the videos.
The kids did an awesome job.
They did a great
Yeah,
job.
they were really fantastic.
Yeah, and I've seen some of those floating around on social media of the of that as you're informing the community about what's going on. It's
Good.
It's great. It's great. All right. I'll get back to it here.
It's the morning show with Jonny and Ken on 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. You can be part of the show anytime. You can call 925-WSJM. You can email let's talk at WSJM.com. You can jump on our live stream. We're on our Facebook, YouTube, and X right now if you want to come check that out. And you should, because we have a special guest in here this morning, right, Ken?
Absolutely. We've got St. Joseph Public Schools Superintendent Jenny Fee here. Thanks for coming in today.
Absolutely.
We talked a little bit about off the top at the about the $98 million school bond. And we were talking off the air in just a moment ago about how many communities in Southwest Michigan have been running bonds over the last couple of years. Not all of them successful. In fact, it's taken a couple of school districts 2 or 3 times to run a bond. And they were asking for far less than what you're asking for. What have you been hearing from the community about this bond?
Yeah, so we certainly know that it's a big ask for the community, and people have expressed that concern. But when they really dig into, when we're able to share our kind of strategic and intentional process over the last 2 years and how we got to that number and what's included in that number and how it'll positively impact the community in not just the short term, but for generations to come, they seem to develop a bigger understanding. And one thing that makes St. Joseph so special is the engagement and partnership and involvement of the community and the members for the school district, and the understanding of that kind of symbiotic relationship between the community and the schools and kind of being one. And so I think that will help us in this situation. But it has been in Berrien County challenging for some schools to pass it. I know Lakeshore was successful in passing theirs.
Yeah.
As you see communities across the state, 88% of communities in the state of Michigan levy mills for bonds, because the state of Michigan funds schools differently than in other states. And in states like Massachusetts, or I think even in Indiana, they give operating funds and they have funds for capital outlay. But in Michigan, the dollars we receive are only for the operating expenses. And so being able to take care of our facilities and provide those really productive learning environments have to happen through bonds and millages from that standpoint. So we're just trying to get the word out there as best we can. We're trying to engage voters in the process, inform them so they can make the best decision for them.
Yeah. And a lot's changed over the years. I mean, as you said, these big numbers of $98 million, I mean, that's huge. But I think the number that really sticks out to me is that you had mentioned, like, yeah, we've done upgrades, we've done some of this, we've done this, we've added some things, we've made some changes over the years and different bond proposals that we've done. But really the bones of the school, 1969 for some of those. And a lot has changed, not only for efficiency, but also overall age of that facility. Just seems like that's time for some changes and some major upgrades, and that's what you're trying to do with this process.
That's true. And so 1969 or 1968 was the date Upton Middle School was brought into being, and then Lincoln, I think, was 1947. And it's cool to go into those classrooms because you actually see things from 1947 in terms of some of the cabinetry and the construction and architecture in the building. And but as far as functionality and efficiency, just not working really well for the way that we do education now compared to 70 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's different.
Not even 70 years ago, just a couple of decades ago, computer labs were a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Nowadays, everyone's got a computer. You don't need the computer labs anymore.
Correct. We have, our school foundation, again, helps us support to make sure that every student has a device that they can use. And so the computer room spaces at our elementary schools, are actually being used for classrooms. And that's another need in the bond, is that we are stuffed to the gills at our elementary schools. We have art classrooms happening in computer classrooms, or young 5 kids in a classroom that's not meant to be a classroom. And so we need to create some space in those buildings to assure that we're creating learning environments that are meant for whatever's happening in that classroom, and not for something that it was meant otherwise.
Right.
What would you say to people who are on the fence about this?
I would say that know that we've been very responsible and intentional in that large number, and we understand that it's a big ask, but we hope that people will understand that these are really needs for the district. They're not just addressing the short term, but they're addressing the long haul comprehensively. And my hope is that we can continue to deliver just the highest quality experience to the students of the district, so that they will come back to the city and the community and be able to continually invest in that, so the community thrives over generations. And I think a quality educational experience is what makes people do that. They're here for 18 years, 19 years, and that's their founding memory. And they have that positive experience, and they're going to come back and give back. And that's what makes the communities last and thrive forever. So.
And after this one, depending on how it goes, when would voters expect another one?
Well, we would hope that this one would last for quite a long time, because
Okay.
we're doing a lot of work. So we still are paying off another bond from 2010. So at some point that bond in about 2035, that bond payoff will go away.
Okay.
And so then your debt mills go down. And that's an opportunity that you see in a lot of other communities, is that when one bond falls off, the community will go out and ask for another, but it won't be a tax increase. It will just maintain that tax level.
Sure.
Unfortunately, that's not been a strategy that had been used previously in St. Joseph. So when we see some big bonds pass, those often are no mill increases. We're not in that particular situation right now. But we might be in 10, 15 years. So I would foresee, I fortunately probably won't be here, but I would foresee that there would be an opportunity for bonds, but not with a mill increase like we're asking now. So
Okay.
this could be setting us up for success in the future.
And the mill increase now, equate it down to what it might mean on an average house for a household for monthly.
Yeah. So it's about, for a taxable value home of about 100,000. It's about just under $200 a year.
A year.
And then
Okay.
I think it was $16 and some cents per month for that type of household. So that's their taxable value.
That's the taxable value,
Yeah.
which is usually about half of what the assessment is. So a $200,000 home, you're going to get a $100,000 taxable value, and that's going to be about 16 and a quarter
Yeah.
per month.
Yeah, we found that the half or the double amount is a
Yeah.
little off these days in the real estate market. That is overestimating.
Don't get us
the
started
loss
on the real estate
of rate.
market.
Yeah, so
But,
I caution people to be straight up with that. We have an awesome tax calculator on
Okay.
that website that you mentioned at
Okay.
sjpsfuture.org, and you could actually type in your home address, and it will spit out exactly what this this bond millage will be for you personally. So I encourage people to go and type their address in, or type their taxable value in,
Yeah.
and you can see what will be the face of it.
Awesome.
We're
What-
talking with St. Joseph Public Schools Superintendent Jenny Fee about this $98.5 million district-wide improvement proposal here. Give us a rundown again of the key things that will be part of this major project.
Yeah, so one of the key things is Upton Middle School, and really doing that facelift of that building, kind of similar to what we did with the high school back in 2010, just because that facility is so old, as we said. I mean, it's in great condition. You walk in and it looks great, and we've been able to maintain that. But
The bones are good.
The bone, yeah, but we need to give some upgrades to that, particularly in the cafeteria area. There's some needs for space and that for those kids, and some of the athletic amenities that we use for physical education and the extracurriculars need some tender loving care as well in that building. And then in our elementary buildings, just creating spaces that are for what they're intended to be used: art rooms, music rooms, gymnasiums, so that we're not putting classrooms in spaces that aren't intended to be classrooms for those content
Sure.
areas from there.
Nice.
And then at our high school, it's more just that roofs is a huge piece of it, electrical, mechanical. That's kind of true across the district. And then all of our safety parameters, cameras, door access systems, lockdown systems, safety and security, they run on technology. And we have to make sure the technology that underlies all those is in place and up to date and not end of life, so that we can maintain the high level of safety and security precautions that we have in place. So those are some big items. And of course, we always got to stick some buses in there, because we have about 14 buses, and we try to every 10 years or so, you have to swap them out. So a couple buses are in there as well.
You know, you bring up buses. We had a school closure not too long ago because somebody
didn't have enough bus drivers.
They didn't have enough bus drivers.
Yeah, it's so hard. We've been close to that. We've had to cancel a route or two once this year because we just ran short one day of things. But it is hard to find bus drivers, and it's such a unique job because you know. So I encourage, you get to see these kids every day. You're their first face every day, and you're their last face every day, and you make an incredible impact on those kids, and you get to know the kids, and you get kind of a flexible schedule in terms of that. So get out there and apply to be a bus driver.
I've got an idea.
It is needed.
I've got an idea.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
you've got teachers already.
Right.
They probably drive to school.
Right.
Just have them take the bus home. And
have them take the bus home. And you know, because
it's a company car.
It's a company from that way. Yeah.
It's a perk. Anything further on the bond proposal that you want to talk about? I have one other question.
Yeah.
After the bond proposal.
I've just been excited about the opportunity. I think it's going to be a great thing for the district, for the kids, and for the long haul. And I hope people will get out on May 7th and go vote and see what we can do for the kids in the community.
Any other public forums or anything where people can ask questions, or places where they can?
We don't have any specific public forums.
Okay.
We've been doing rounds, but at events that we have in the district, there's information available, and
the website is tremendous. You've got a lot of stuff there.
Yeah, that's a great way. And I encourage people to email me at jfee@sjschools.org, and I will answer any questions they have. I do that periodically each day. I get some inquiries.
Oh, man, you're going to get a lot now.
It's okay. Call the central office. We want people to be informed. We want them to understand what's in this and why it's important. So happy to address questions from people.
Okay. One other question. We have time.
Go ahead.
We're good on the clock.
We're good on the clock.
I get yelled at if we go over. Artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
How's it affecting the school kids and the school days and your education curriculum?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we tried to do when ChatGPT came out a couple of years ago, and that really struck some of our teachers is not to be like ban it, but to embrace it. And I really loved what some of our English teachers at the high school did. We had an English teacher who created a whole unit around using artificial intelligence and having the AI create the papers, and then having students analyze what's good and bad about it, like how it lacks voice, or how the structure is, or they left this piece out, and do a comparison and really do that critical analysis of it. And so we've really taken the approach of embracing it and using it as a learning opportunity to get those down. So, but it is a challenge. I mean, you want kids to learn authentically and use their voice. And so teaching students about that and the integrity of it is a piece of what we're, embarking on right now.
Yeah, that's great. Because there's so much to it, so many applications, so much to learn about what it's learning or what it has learned, and will spit back at you. In fact, there's a story that maybe we'll talk about later on. One of the members of Congress wanted to get schooled up on AI, so he went back to college to learn about AI so that they could, smartly think about how to legislate, if legislation at all is necessary on AI. When you think about
kudos
that,
to him, because we kind of get. You don't really understand it, and so to be able to embrace that, to be able to use it as a tool effectively is important. So.
And he's very optimistic on it. And at the end of the day, where did he go to get more information? Not to AI, back to school.
Back to school. Smart. There you go.
So, all right, Jenny Fee, Superintendent of St. Joe Public Schools. Thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely, I really enjoyed it.
Great to have you in here.
Good. Enjoy the rain.
Okay. Yeah.
sjpsfuture.org to get all the info on that project and see the video and get some more information before that election day on May 7th.
Yep.
Coming up here in just a moment, we'll have your Moody on the Market update. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In business, service is everything. Cintas delivers what you need to better serve your customers. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, tested and inspected fire protection systems, first aid and safety supplies, on-site AED training, or mops and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together. So visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
The biggest event to hit Southwest Michigan this spring is only a few weeks away. The final edition of the KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship returns to Harbor Shores May 23rd through the 26th, and there's something for everyone. You'll experience the best in championship golf, KitchenAid celebrity chef cooking demonstrations, and the Kids Zone, as well as local craft beer, wine, cider, and spirits, and the popular Makers Trail 19th hole. The 2024 KitchenAid Senior PGA Championship. Fun for the whole family. Don't miss out. For tickets and information, go to srpga.com.
It's the morning show with Jonny and Ken on 94.9 WSJM.
What a nice superintendent to
Wasn't
chat
that fun?
with. That was fun.
We didn't get in trouble.
Nope.
We didn't
No
get
write-ups.
detention.
Didn't have to have the hall pass with us, anything like that. But no, that was a really great conversation.
Yeah.
If you happen to miss it, you can either rewatch the video or check out the podcast later at WSJM.com and the WSJM app. But for now, it's time to get into our Moody on the Market update, where we tell you about what's going on in the business world, as well as Southwest Michigan, why we love it here, and interesting people you should know, all right there at moodyonthemarket.com, the fresh new moodyonthemarket.com.
What do you think? Looking all right?
I like it. I hear
hesitancy.
I have some notes. No. No, I like it.
I thought you were going to say I have some questions.
I will say it was shocking.
Oh,
because
nice.
I don't like change. No, I think it's great.
We change the stories every day.
Yeah, the stories are great. I like I'm getting used to the layout, but I like it. I like it. It's fresh.
It's moodyonthemarket.com. That's our new website. Well, actually, our old website. The address remains the same. The look is a little fresh.
Yeah. It's like a new paint job.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
We wrapped the car.
Yeah, there you go. Your update for your Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
And we like to tell you about business updates. And this one has a picture of chicken on it. Actually, chicken wings.
That caught my eye.
Yeah, that does look good.
Oh, yeah.
That does look good. Joe and Tara Matthews have been putting smiles on customers' faces at TJ's Sports Bar and Grill since 2009. It's a popular spot. It's at the corner of M40 and Territorial Road, south of Waterville, and they'll soon have a sibling bar and restaurant. As we reported last week in moodyonthemarket.com, the Matthews are planning to open TJ's Baroda Tap in May or June, depending on the Michigan Liquor Control Commission and minor cosmetic and kitchen improvements at their new location at Lemon Creek Road and First Street in the Village. Now, we sat down with Joe Matthews and business partner Greg Bohr to learn more about their plans for TJ's Baroda Tap.
So Joe bubbles over with enthusiasm as he considers the potential of his new second location. He says, we were looking at the spot for over a year when Rose and Crown stepped up and got it. So when the ill-fated British pub concept quickly faltered after a couple of months, Matthews was back in the pursuit of the tap. Now, and he enlisted support from his lifelong friend, Greg Bohr, who was looking for an investment after his recent retirement as an executive in the HVAC equipment field in Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Exactly.
Okay.
Joe and Greg. So is there going to be some barbecue there at this place?
Should
Now,
be.
Joe and Greg go back to their days in Waterville High School and point at a 3-generation friendship between their families, which is pretty awesome. Now, they say that kind of trust goes a long way in forging a business partnership. So not only local guys that have grew up here, but also making some expansion. And I'm just hoping for some Kansas City barbecue influences of some kind there.
Well, we'll tell you what kind of food they're going to have. They're going to have burgers,
Okay.
hand-dipped wings, chicken fingers, yellow perch and bluegill, very local, Reuben sandwiches, French dip, a ribeye Philly cheesesteak,
Dang.
loaded nachos,
Okay, sign me up for all that.
and the favorite wet burrito.
Ooh, love a good wet burrito.
Yeah, the wet burritos are good. So anyway, he says this has been a tested menu at their Waterville location for over 15 years, and so they're going to bring a lot of that. And I'm sure they'll take some. They've got some brisket there too. They're thinking about.
Oh yeah, because they're gonna have a smoker there.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, yeah. Because
so
they
many
have
things they could come up with.
They have an in-house smoker at their M140 location.
Yeah.
And so they've got several hundred pounds of smoked items sold each week.
Mm.
So I bet you're going to see the smoked section on the menu in Verona.
Yeah. Those, if it's successful in one place, there's a possibility. And that's the cool part, is when you have the 2 different locations, the two sister places now, you can kind of see of course, every community is different, but you can try out and see what works in each one. And this will be awesome.
Yeah. So wrapping this story, there's a lot more detail in there. You can check it out at moodyonthemarket.com. They don't have an opening date stated yet, so we'll keep you up to date on that. But they expect to hire 20 to 25 employees. So I think that goes to the service will be good there.
Great.
So they're looking forward to that. But if you want to read more about the article and stay up to date, check it out. It's at moodyonthemarket.com with our fresh look website.
And your update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency, with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
Rich Brand and Tarek Halsey of IMS Insurance.
That'll be good.
All right.
Yeah, TJ says some solid food there.
You know, and it's great. It's such a great location.
Yeah. And when it was what was the Baroda Tap,
Yeah.
and then it was something before
Rosencrantz.
that.
Oh,
Before that,
Yeah.
long time restaurant. So it's like that's a good spot.
And you've got Connie's place just down the road.
Yep.
And then a couple.
You got the Public House,
couple others. Yeah.
Round Barn Public House right around the corner too. So you've got starting to have
Nice
a really
little
good
row.
community of stuff since there hasn't been anything there, that has a chain reaction to the other businesses, whether it be restaurants, but also just businesses in the area.
Yeah. I still like the British pub thing. I think that if they do it right, it could work somewhere around that area. Because fish and chips, man.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Right.
Get some vinegar. Yum yum.
Yeah, because I mean, if you go to Great Britain area, or Ireland and all that area, it's like anything in the UK, there's pubs every corner.
Yeah, there you go.
And even maybe 2 at every corner. And it's like, let's get more of those. This will be good.
Yeah.
So it will be called TJ's Bar
You got to read the
Grill.
article. You got to read the article.
Oh man,
got to read the article.
Gotta read the whole thing.
It's not that long.
Where's the TLDR?
This is.
All right.
I forgot to ask Jenny Fee about that. Is TLDR a thing in the schools these days?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Too long didn't read.
All right.
TLDR.
That about does it for us, folks. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. We'll talk again here tomorrow.
Thank you.